What's up everyone? It is Jason and we're here in my warehouse. Welcome back to the channel. In this video I want to share with you some of the ways that I'm using my screen booth, my toadmatic DJ booth, and why I love this booth for my events. Now, over the years I've bought a bunch of these Toad booths, and I've even taken it to a whole nother level where I've actually built my own with larger screens. But the current booth that I'm using, and I sometimes use them as one booth, but I also use them in pairs, is the toadmatic 55-inch booth. And I've done videos showing how I've customized this booth here on the channel, but I really wanted to focus today not just on the booth itself, but I want to talk about the screen and the content that I use on my screens. I've been asked about this a ton, so I want to share some information with you, and for anyone that's curious on how I'm using the screens on the front of my DJ booth and how I use it at my events, and to help me push not only the service but the experience to another level. So first and foremost, I have my booth tricked out, and I've used some tinted acrylic to make the booths look a little bit different. Now I'm using black extrusions on these booths, and I've used two different types of tinted acrylic to give my booth that mirror-like black kind of flare that I think looks super impressive. Now the booth is equipped with a 55-inch 4K TCL screen, and these are pretty solid screens. They take a beating. I'm not really like upset with these screens. Over the years, I typically only have used Samsung screens in any of my, not just DJ booth or my office, but even in my house. Everything we have is Samsung. But these screens are super solid and they get the job done. They actually fit the bezel perfectly so that they kind of fill the edge-to-edge look, which is really important for the booth. So let's talk about the content that goes on the screen. Now, you can keep the screen off and it just kind of is behind the glass on the front of this booth, but I like to personalize the front face of the booth with the couple or the guests of honor or the company's monogram, logo, or initials, maybe their name. I like to personalize the front space of the booth, and typically how I do that is I use Canva to create a transparent graphic that is then put in Ecamm, and then it goes on to the front face of the booth. Now, I'm gonna put some links in the description of this video. One for Canva, two for Ecamm. Ecamm is a super useful and super robust platform that I use all the time. Every time I'm DJing, I use Ecamm. Every time I record a video in my home office, I'm using Ecamm. When I'm doing, Zoom calls, I'm using Ecamm. And if you're not on Ecamm, that's a platform that I would highly recommend to anyone, anywhere, because I just love it. Now, the logo is not all that we do, and it can just be a single file, which is like a PNG on a black background, or you can animate them using graphics, motion graphics, and there's a hookup for that. You can find a lot of content online, or you can create stuff yourself using Final Cut or other platforms to manufacture different backgrounds to fit the needs of your events or the things that you're working on. That's not all though. We like to take the screen experience to a whole nother level. So having the names or the monogram or the logo is really just the start of how we use the front face of these booths at our events. Another way we take the front face of our booths to totally expand on the experience and create something super impressionable is I have someone that's on site on my team. Rico is the person that is always with me on site at my events, and he captures some images using the Sony camera that we have on site and a universe of lenses, and takes some really cool and stunning photos. Those photos get then brought back to the DJ booth or off to the side, where he then uploads them to Lightroom, color corrects, makes some adjustments, and then exports them. We then animate that file, and then we put that as another scene in Ecamm, and then we show that for everyone to see on the front face of our DJ booths at that event. That's not it. We can also use images taken from our photo booths and do the same thing. We can even use a platform like the photo wall feature from Request Now to allow guests to share content with our team. We can animate it and we can put it on the front face of our DJ booths. But that's not all. We like to go beyond that. A lot of times people are like, are you going to do music videos? And years ago, I would always play music videos when I had screens. I no longer do that. I think that although it looks really impressive and it's really, really cool, the music video content sometimes doesn't fall in line with the visual aesthetics of the events that I work. So one way that we've remixed that is I have someone like RJ who's actually holding the camera right now as I'm talking to you on site at my events, shooting footage on site during the party, introductions, first dance. Much of the content you've seen here on this channel has been filmed by him at my events. And then what he does is after we get the dance floor going, we get some good footage and whatnot, he'll then go off to the side, he'll download the footage, he'll edit the footage, and then we actually add that as another scene in Ecamm, another layer of content that everyone gets to see, and we typically do that at the second half of the wedding. That allows people to see what kind of transpired in the first half of that wedding. Really just is super impressionable. I think it blows people's minds to see the party unfold on the DJ booth if they're looking at it. Now, when we put that content on the front face of the DJ booth, I'm not playing the audio. It's not like a same day edit or a recap like that. It's really like footage that we capture from a party perspective to show everyone what the first half was, and they were there. So sometimes you see people looking at the DJ booth and they're like looking for themselves and pointing at themselves, having a great time dancing. And this is not just younger guests, older guests like it too. And I think the point of this video is using technology to influence the atmosphere, to influence the presentation, or influence the emotion is really what it's about. I think playing great music at any party is awesome. And I think that's a big part of what we do. But I think we have the ability of shifting the environment in a lot of different ways. And for me, I love using visual content on the front face of my DJ booth furniture to elevate the experience on many levels. And I wanted to share this video with you because I get asked all the time, what are we using? How are we doing it? And although this is not a super process-driven video to give you every step-by-step, it gives you the tools that we're using and it gives you kind of the layout in terms of format. And if you are interested in me going deeper in any of this stuff, please let me know in the comments underneath this video and we'll record another video for you guys. The point here is not for you to replicate every single thing that I'm doing. It's to see what we're doing and see if you can remix it to introduce it in your world for your services, to show off the things that you're doing in a way that makes sense for you and your business and the people that are hiring you for their events. And I think that's everything. I, for one, am a big fan of content. I'm a big fan of technology, and I am a big fan of marrying music, talent, and technology to create incredible moments in time. And I hope that connects to you because that's kind of been my mantra for a long time. Anyway, if you have questions about anything that I've been mentioning here in this video, please throw it in the comments underneath this video and be sure to check out some of the links of some of the things that I shared with you here in the description of this video. Be on the lookout for more content coming right here to this channel in days, weeks, and months ahead. Thank you so much for sticking with me and checking this out.